So we are live, you guys.
Oh, but we can't see us on there. So
No, we
don't know what's going
cannot.
on.
We don't get to see ourselves this time.
Okay. Because I was gonna say so that we can't see when we disappear when something
Don't
goes
worry.
wrong.
Don't worry, I've got another device here that we're going to use
Okay.
to see exactly what's going on. So hi, how are you guys this morning?
All right. All right.
Did y'all have a good week?
I think so.
Good, I'm glad.
I
How about
think
you
so.
guys? Let us know how your week was.
Yes.
Let's see here. I'm gonna find us on the social medias. Just Facebook.
Just
today.
Facebook.
But you can find us on the social medias. You can find the library at NLM Library, and you can find Hortons at. Anybody want to clue in?
It's well.
We should know this.
We should. I'm not going.
Horton's Books.
Is it just
Horton's
Horton's
Books.
Yeah,
Horton's
Is it
Books.
just Hortons
I think so.
Okay.
We should know this.
Because I'm going, is it Horton's Books and Gifts or no? It's just Horton's Books.
Just
Hortons
Hortons
Books.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, it is looking like you can't see Margaret.
Invisible on mine.
Are you? Okay, good. Maybe it's just. Maybe I had to catch up. Okay. All right. So this week. See, mine's a little behind. We're learning, you guys. We're all learning together in this new
Yes.
virtual world that we're in. Oh, did we have someone? Nope, that's a notification from Facebook. Okay. So this week we read chapters 4 and 5.
Yep.
Keeper of the Keys and
Diagon Alley.
Diagon
Yes.
Alley. That's right. So I'm going to hold up this guy so you can see. I'm going to put this guy here so we can see your comments. So who would like to start?
All right.
We are on a real delay today.
We are on a bit of a delay. We are.
That's what I was warning someone who came in the store yesterday with her kids, and I told them all about this. That tune in tomorrow at 11. I said, but beware of the delay.
Right. Well, I do want to say this. We probably need to recap 4 and 5 just a little bit. 4 was about Keeper of the Keys. That's Hagrid, and he was telling us about himself and about the Wizarding World. And then 5 was Diagon Alley, and we were thrown in head first.
Yep. Wizarding Shopping District.
And of course, the main part of chapter 4 was where Harry finally gets his letter.
Finally.
Yes, he finally gets his letter.
They had been chasing him. Yeah. All over southern England.
Oh, and
Right.
what was the last address on the letter?
What was it? The hut on the rock?
Hut on the
Or
rock.
The sea or something like
The
that?
floor.
The floor.
The floor.
The
Yeah,
floor.
that's it. The floor of the hut. Wherever.
Hello, Lorian.
Oh, Lorian's here. Hey! Yay! Did you find it?
Let's see.
It must be on that. We are really on a time.
We're a little behind. All right. It should be right in
Yeah, I
here.
know. That's what I'm thinking too.
Let's see.
Here.
Uh-huh.
Mr. H. Potter, the floor, hut on the rock, the sea. That's it.
We don't know which sea, just the sea.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
All right, so questions.
Question. What is your favorite character or part so far?
Yes, tell us. Who's your favorite character? My favorite is always Harry. Harry's my favorite.
Harry's your favorite. Well, I do love Hagrid because he is, well, bigger than life.
He
yes.
is. He is.
And he's a creature lover, animal lover. So
We got a couple of those here today with us. So here is that chapter and what that looks like. Let's see if you can see that. We're waiting on our delay to catch up with us.
Oh,
There we go. There it is. All right, so you've had a good minute to check that out. So, does anyone want to tell us who their favorite character is? We'll give you a minute while we hash out who are our least favorite characters. Is that a question?
No, it was just Lorian saying Hagrid at that point.
Hagrid. Yeah.
In chapter 4, Hagrid.
The only characters we've had have been the Dursleys,
Harry
Harry,
and Hagrid, really.
and that Mrs. Fig. We talked about Mrs. Fig. We've
Mm,
already
briefly.
discussed
Yeah.
Aunt Marge, a little bit, just a tiny bit,
Just that. The extra room is hers.
and then Pierce.
Yes.
The friend Pierce.
Yes, yeah.
So if anyone has a different character that they like best, be ready to argue. Come and tell us why.
Let's see here. Here's one, although it might be a little spoilish. Hagrid presents a cake to Harry. Would you eat it?
Ah.
Every bite. Every bite.
You would eat the cake?
I would eat the cake.
I think I'd eat the cake, but not his rock cakes that
No.
appear
No,
later.
that's a different story. That's a different story. But his cake has icing.
Yes.
So no matter how burnt it is, at least it's moist.
Yes.
Not necessarily.
Depending.
It was slightly flattened.
It was a little
Okay.
I have had some cakes that have had plenty of icing and been rock cakes. Yeah, no, that was not a good cake.
Oh, but he did. He made kippers.
He did.
What are
Those-
kippers?
Sausages, basically.
I look to you
Kippers.
to tell me what a kipper was.
Kipper is fish.
Didn't he
Kippers
say he
is-
made kippers?
Is smoked fish.
Oh, well, maybe I was
Yeah.
wrong. Maybe he just
Well, he
made
made-
sausages.
But he
made
made
sausages.
sausages for Harry. Yes,
That's
he
right.
pulled out the sausages that he made with the
Which,
fire.
depending on
that
the sausage,
he-
might be more or less suspicious than a kipper. Depending on the sausage.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So that's two pieces.
Oh,
I don't
I
think
had
he eats-
something to say on that one.
Mhm.
I think it's hilarious when Dudley is like, he's made a sound, and Vernon is like, don't eat anything he gives you. And Hagrid's like, I'm not giving him anything.
Doesn't need it.
No.
Like, he doesn't get it. It's Harry's. It's just Harry's.
Let's see here. If you were offered a place at Hogwarts, would you go? Would you be scared or excited?
What about you guys?
Oh, excited!
Mostly because you know what it's all about. At this point, we don't know.
No.
All we know is
I
that
don't
this big
know.
guy has torn down a door. You've been running from him all day with your family, and he hands you a letter and says that you're going away with him.
I guess it could be like the Xavier School. You're just promised somewhere that you're not weird.
Yep, yep.
And at 11, we'd all like that.
And honestly, I'll be honest, if somebody feeds me and then tells me to
I
come
know.
with them, I'm going.
Yeah, especially if you've been miserable where you've been. I
Starved
like-
to death.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Lorian is yes. Hogwarts
You're
all the
gonna
time.
go. Oh, she's going. All
That owl's
right.
cute. Where did, I don't
Oh,
see that
oh.
owl before.
Can we not
He's
see the
cute.
owl? The owl with the newspaper.
Oh.
Or no, that's the owl. That's the owl that takes Hagrid's reply.
Yes. Back to Dumbledore.
Yeah, poor
Yes.
guy. He just gets thrown out in the storm.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so sad. We've got the... Oh, this is our first sighting of Petunia. You've seen the other two Dursleys now, and this is our first Petunia picture. They're just kind of cowering in the corner there.
And you see Hagrid's shadow.
Oh, you do
around
see his
there.
shadow.
Yes.
All right. And then we've got... Oh, it is. It's outlining. Oh, my. And then let's see. Oh, you guys, the infamous. How did we feel? How did we feel? How did we feel when Dudley got the pigtail for eating Harry's cake? Or he wasn't actually eating his cake in the picture, was he?
No.
Or in the book? What was he doing? That's a movieism.
He was. think he just did it because of
Because of Vernon, right? Vernon had said something.
yes. Let's see here.
I'm not paying for some crockpot elf to teach him magic tricks, yells Uncle Vernon.
That's
Oh,
it.
do not insult Albus Dumbledore in front of Hagrid.
Mhm.
That's your first mistake. And your last,
Yeah.
possibly.
He brought the umbrella swishing down to point at Dudley. A flash of violet light, the sound of a firecracker, a shark squeal, and dancing around.
It was
Telling
also
of fame.
after he'd said that about Harry's parents.
Oh, yeah, he had. He had insulted
Yes.
Harry's parents. Oh, and Lorian I think she's still talking about the Hogwarts letter. Best day ever. And then Dudley's tail.
I'm not completely sure about punishing the child for the parent, but
Yeah, I'm not on board with that completely, but, you know, Hagrid...
I think he probably guessed that Dudley hadn't been really nice to Harry either, and that
Yeah.
he was.
and then you get into the nature and nurture discussion.
Yeah, you do.
Yes.
But I've got a question. How would you like to spend the night in this hut on the rock? I would do it.
I've done my wilderness camping. I'm fine.
Would you do it?
Yeah, I don't think so.
You've gotten enough country, right, out on the farm?
No, I like the country. I don't like little huts on rocks in a raging sea.
It's a little too primitive.
Yeah.
It's a little too primitive.
I do a lighthouse.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of a difference.
But you're usually made of stone and might not
Yes.
fall into the sea in a second.
Yeah, that one does look like it's going to fall over. But I would do it for the story. I would do it to tell people. Yeah, I stayed there.
Well, you'd be going, oh, I stayed. Oh, yeah.
I'd just take a book. I would take a book and hide in the corner.
Yeah, but there's no electricity.
I would have to take a candle then.
They covered this, remember? There was no electricity.
that's
They had to start a
right.
fire.
That's right. I would have
And
to
your
sit by the
candle
fire.
would be blown out all the time because of the holes in the side of the,
Oh, I've got
the
it.
wood. So
I would take an audiobook. I would have my phone charged before I go, and I would take an audiobook with me.
okay, you got it covered.
All right, does that cover us for chapter 4?
For the hut
Except
on the
for maybe think of a witch or wizard name for yourself. Because they
Oh.
all have very,
Rubius Hagrid.
not old-fashioned, but wizarding names, I'd guess.
A lot of them
Okay.
do.
Minerva McGonagall, who wrote the letter,
My
signed
favorite
the
is-
letter.
Daedalus Diggle.
Oh, yes.
He's my favorite when it comes to the names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see.
He
You
has
need
a
to have
good name.
alliteration.
Yeah.
All the names the same, or you have to have a super long name.
Yes.
Mhm.
Like Dumbledore. Well, we haven't got that far yet, but like
No,
Dumbledore.
but we'll talk about him. He's-
long
Well,
name.
he's mentioned in the head of top of the letter.
Well, there's only
Yes.
2 names seen there. There are multiple more
Yes.
in between those 2
Right.
names.
Right.
So what would yours be?
I don't know.
Well, maybe that's something we can tell people to think about.
Yeah, think
and
about
tell us
that.
next week.
And tell us here if you think about it. You
Or-
can come back and comment, or come back next week and tell us.
Yes.
And we'll have names by then. You think?
Mhm.
I think we'll have names
Hopefully.
by then. All right, chapter 5, Diagon Alley. Has anyone else noticed that it's diagonally? That's just the direction of the street. So we got Hagrid asleep here. Questions?
If you went to Diagon Alley, which shop would you most excited to visit? Blah, blah, blah.
Flourish and Blots.
Oh, yes. Yes.
As long as the books don't fall on you. There are definitely a few that look like they're about
Honestly,
to.
I'd probably be
Or-
fine.
Or is it Florian Fortescue's with his wonderful Sundays? Oh. Nom, 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 nom. Once you've been to Flourish and Bronze.
Once
Yes.
you've been, yeah.
Yes.
Then you've got your book.
Then you go to
Get some
Florian
ice cream.
Fortescue's ice cream parlor. Yes.
And this is Hagrid and Harry escaping the hut on the rock. See
In
what
a little, in a
And
little tiny boat.
Poor Hagrid looks like he's gonna just go through and go into the water, and Harry's just like, away!
It's like the Small World After All boats.
It is.
They're made purposely tiny looking.
Mhm.
They're not tiny, but they look tiny, so you feel massive.
Let's see what we've got here.
On the tube.
On the tube. Does anyone know what the tube is? I did not before getting into the world of Harry Potter.
Ah, well.
You want to be
Do you
our
know why
expert?
it's called the tube?
Does it look like one?
Because it's round.
Oh.
The
It's
oldest,
actually round.
the oldest stations are round.
Yes.
I didn't know that. I had no
Yes.
clue.
Mhm.
So that's just a subway, right?
Basically.
It's a
Pretty
subway.
much just a subway.
It's also known as the underground because most of it runs underground. So.
Right, and in our first chapter, I'm glad you said that. In the first chapter, Dumbledore said something about scars can be useful. He's got an entire map of the London Underground on his
Yes.
knee.
That's right.
Which would be very, very useful. It's,
Very
it's
useful.
20, 12 different lines?
At least.
That's a
13
lot.
or 14 now, because I think they're building,
Yeah.
trying to finish one last one.
Yeah.
And Lorian says, are you visiting Diagon Alley as a witch or a muggle? I wouldn't care.
I wouldn't care.
Both? I think as a muggle, or as, you know, Harry, who has grown up as a muggle.
There you go. See, I was just gonna say,
There you go.
as a muggle, and then you realize, hey,
I'm a wizard!
I'm a wizard. Yes.
That's where you find out. You find
Yeah.
out while eating the ice cream.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
What
I
a
just
surprise that would be.
I just thought of the best thing about being a wizard. You can sit there and hold your book and read your book. And you can just make your spoon feed yourself the ice cream. Or you can magic your book to just sit up while you read it and flip pages automatically while you feed yourself the ice cream.
Perfect.
That's the only reason to be a wizard or
There
a
you
witch.
go. Yes. Perfect.
Now that we've
I
gone down
have
that
that.
tangent. Let's see what else we've got here.
Lorian wants a wand.
Oh,
Oh,
Ollivanders.
yes.
I didn't
Yes.
bring my wand.
Oh,
Somewhere. Forgot
I
about
should bring mine. Someone from the Teen Zone actually gave me mine. I've not been to Diagon Alley yet in Florida. It's in Florida, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Although I think I saw something that said Disney's plan, or Walt Disney. Universal, sorry.
Yes.
Wrong one.
Universal.
Wrong one.
Wrong one. Universal is planning a Harry Potter world in Japan. So there would be the ultimate trip.
Interesting.
Oh, wow.
Oh, intrigue. Let's see what we got.
Harry
on
Potter in Japan. I would be okay with that. I would
think
manage
of the
both.
dragons they'd make there.
Oh my gosh.
Be a real dragon wandering around.
That would
Yes.
be so much fun, you guys. We should do that. You guys just want to go on a trip? Let's just go on a trip.
Yeah, Japan, you know.
We'll just go to Japan.
Yeah.
Yes, I'd be okay with
And
going
then
to Japan.
we'd visit Diagon Alley. Wait, what?
Yeah, I don't know. I think we've gone off on another tangent.
There is a wizarding Japanese school whose name I don't remember off the top of my head.
I don't either.
Something complicated. They wear multicolored. Their robes change color
Oh.
as you get. They're like black the first year, and then as you get higher up, they get lighter. But if you get banned, they turn white.
Oh, wow. All
Which
right.
is the deaf color in Japan. So they count you as dead.
Wow.
If you get banned
Wow.
from school.
That's heavy. That's heavy. I think I wouldn't want to keep those around if they turned white. Or maybe I could just pass it off as, oh, I washed them with bleach. I'm sorry, you guys. I need new ones.
Well, over here it'd be, you're a martial arts expert.
Yeah.
But, because, that's what we associate with it. But yeah, white is the deaf color in Japan. And you're buried in white, you go to funerals in white. Most Asian and Indian, it's all white is the... And then they
Huh.
bury in red.
Well, that's interesting because there's a book series, anything Shadowhunters related by Cassandra Clare, any of her series. the shadow hunters in their society, they also wear white to funerals, and they wear, I think, gold. I think it's gold for like marriage ceremonies. So
Well, I think that used to be the royal weddings used to be in gold. You wore cloth of silver or gold because you were royalty.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
It was only Queen Victoria who had some pretty white lace she wanted to show off. She's like, okay, I need to wear Marion white.
And now everybody does it.
Mhm.
Talk about a trend starter.
Oh yeah. Well, she was very good at propaganda. She made sure every reporter reported on her wedding
Oh wow,
in her beautiful white dress.
that's some power.
She knew it. She was very good propaganda.
Well, we're in Diagon
Diagon Alley.
Alley now. We've got some things here. Does anyone want to help me decipher this picture I've been showing to everyone?
Lynn Hughes says hello.
Oh, hi, Lynn. Hi. Thanks for joining us.
Okay. Well, there's the entrance to Diagon Alley, so that must be Leaky Cauldron.
Okay.
That is the Cauldron or junk secondhand shop. I'm gonna go with.
There is isn't that the
apothecary.
first shop they see when they come in is with the cauldrons?
Yeah, but that's
And
not
he
all
said-
cauldrons though. That's definitely
It
some
looks like
teapots
a
there.
secondhand shop.
I don't know, but
Brooms.
Yep.
Um,
Frogs,
dungeon.
toads. Yeah, that one does look like a dungeon.
Not sure what that is. It looks like a dungeon. Maybe a pub because it's got the lion on the top. And then
that must be the potions with
Bufos?
potions and with
frogs and toads.
yeah. Or is that the
I'm not sure. Let's see if there's more on the next page.
yeah?
Oh,
my goodness!
Now that makes more sense. All right, let's look at that one for a second. So, Flourish and Blott's my favorite store.
Yes.
So what store would you want to go into? Lorian said she wanted to go into Ollivander's.
Yeah.
There are some other stores named. What's the pet store's name?
Owls and something Owl Emporium. And then there's Menagerie, but I think that might just
There's
be
the
a mention.
apothecary. Where
The
they
apothecary
have all
might
the,
be neat.
Yeah, that would be neat.
It was Elops.
Elops.
Owl Emporium.
Elops. Owl
That's
Emporium.
what it was.
Well, that
yes.
was that was like the post office. There was the magical menagerie. You were right. You're
Yeah,
right.
I think that's mentioned, but we don't go in.
Right.
I think.
Someone
if I
else
remember
does.
correctly. It's like I think this time it's mentioned. We don't go
Yes.
Right.
in. Because we just get an owl.
Right.
That's actually another question. Which pet would you take with you?
Yeah.
A cat, a toad, or an owl?
Or a rat. Right?
Yeah.
Rats aren't on the list though.
They're not?
They're not.
I thought they were.
Check the Harry Potter list, isn't it
Look
only?
on the,
We're
it
looking-
says here, students may also bring an owl or a cat or a toad.
Oh, very specific.
Mhm.
Yep.
Got some rule breakers coming up later.
Absolutely we do.
It kind of makes you wonder what they've brought to school that they've slimmed it down to those 3 animals.
Yeah.
What have you brought to school?
Especially when you see that one of your books is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Mhm.
Which is on its 2nd Muggle edition. And I think it said, 30th, 40th Wizarding edition?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Because I know they updated the Muggle edition just recently.
That's how you know you've written a good book, when they keep making new editions of
There
it.
you go. There you
And
go.
even update the Muggle edition.
So we said cat. What kind of
Yeah.
animal would you want to take?
I'd have to have a cat.
You'd have to have a cat.
I'd have
Can
to
we
have a
all
cat.
pick cat? Is that bad? If we
No.
all pick cat?
We can all pick cats.
Okay. Just because I'm terrified of birds.
But then again, I also love owls. So for me, it would be.
But you
owl or
can't
cat.
take 2, sadly. I think it says or, right?
Yeah,
Not
I
Yeah, it
know
says
it says or.
in capital letters, both of them.
Yes. Yes.
Or.
Yes.
No, still a cat.
You know, I would want to take an owl just for the function of being able to send letters. But I am terrified of birds, so that's not going to work out for me.
You would not be going into the owlie anytime soon.
No, I would send someone. I would probably, after my first year, I would
You
just
can-
pay first years to take.
You can
My
send
life.
me. You can send me. I'll go and visit Al's anytime.
Thank you,
Yes.
Katie.
So
Thank you.
we'll get your mail sent.
That's why I love
Yes.
you. All right. What else have we got here? Oh, we've got a goblin, you guys.
What is the most interesting thing about Gringotts?
Yes.
There's a lot about Gringotts
Ooh,
right there in the
there's
first little bit.
a lot. A lot.
I love how multiple times throughout the chapter, after Hagrid says it, they're like, "Are there really dragons in Gringotts?"
Mm-hmm. And that's actually a very important little clue for later.
Comes up later, you guys.
Yes.
Foreshadowing.
So.
Although I would not steal from there.
No. Why would you?
No! Oh no!
They only check to see if anyone's been. Oh no.
Uh-oh. I think the library says you've had enough.
The library.
The lights
works.
just went out.
They can see. So the library has
Yes, it has gone
motion
out.
detector lights. So would one of you want to walk down and see if we can?
Margaret is probably tallest.
Yeah. So we're working on a sensor here. So just kind of wave your arm. There we go. And we have light again.
Woo! This is magic. See,
It's
she
magic.
just waved her arms and the lights came back on.
It is, you guys. Your new library. It's magic.
Or haunted, either one.
Both. Why not both? Why not
There
both?
you go.
Oh
I mean,
my.
what fun if we had. Well, I won't even mention his name because that will come up later.
Later. We'll bring it up later. All right. And
Yeah. Did we finish Gringotts?
Yeah, it was about the goblins.
oh, I had a question.
and-
What was your favorite anti-stealing mechanism that they described?
Oh yes.
They said multiple things, like it was deep down under the castle or under the
Under
building.
London.
Under London.
Under Muggle London.
yeah.
That's
And
pretty
Harry
good.
said something funny. He said, "I can never tell which is a stalactite and a stalagmite."
Mhm.
And Hagrid is not super helpful, and he says one of them has an M in it.
Yep.
And then he's like, "Don't talk to me anymore. I'm gonna get sick if I keep talking."
I've actually heard a little rhyme, but it's a little rude. So.
We'll save that for later.
Let's just say stalactite goes down.
Stalactites. Okay.
Yeah, tight goes down.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then, so yeah, what was your favorite mechanism? Only goblins can open them
Yep.
unless you have a key.
Mhm.
So then you've got the keys, so you have a lock.
Yep.
You've got the fact
I-
that it's underground. The
Mhm.
dragons.
I love the dragons.
The dragons.
Absolutely, they are guarding.
And then in later books, you learn that there are even more mechanisms for
Yes.
keeping
Yes.
your money safe. So,
Yes.
Yep.
would you want to keep your money in Gringotts?
Oh yeah.
Safest place in the world.
Absolutely.
Unless the goblins rebel.
Unless the goblins rebel. And, yeah. But just be nice to them. Just be the person that is nice to them.
Mhm.
You know, just be kind to everyone.
It-
Just be
that's it.
nice.
Exactly.
Just, there's no reason
Yes.
to be anything
And I
other
think-
than kind.
And I don't think the goblins would care about the things that witches and wizards have unless
Right.
it was goblin made.
Yeah, they only really care about
Yes.
the goblin made things.
Mhm. That's right.
All right, so next.
What do the names Professor Quirrell and Draco Malfoy tell you about their personalities?
It's funny that you say Draco Malfoy.
Oh, hello,
'cause on
Draco.
our next page.
He seems to be attacked by a tape measure.
Yes.
It's okay, it's fine.
Sad that it doesn't just wrap him up and leave him at home for this year.
Or every year.
So the names, what do they tell us? What do you guys think about Draco and what was it?
Quirrell.
Quirrell.
So I think of a Quirrell when I think of Quirrell. Like, I think of someone arguing, but he's not a very argumentative type.
Squirrel.
I was going to say, I definitely think of squirrel. I have to agree with you there.
Like a skittish squirrel.
Sort of like,
Yeah, he is rather fidgety, and he has a bit of a stutter, and it comes from having been scared, is what we
Yes.
learned.
Or what
Yes.
we're told. Anyway.
That's what we're told. Well, I mean, it could very well be from him being scared for other reasons. For those of you who know all the spoilers, he may be
Yes.
terrified. I would be.
Mhm.
And then Draco of course is dragon.
Mhm.
Malfoy is, oh, if I can remember this correctly, French for bad faith.
Bad faith.
Yeah, Mal, and then Foy would be faith. So, his name, so dragon, bad faith.
Yeah, we don't want that one guarding our money in Gringotts.
No. And isn't Mal anyway being sick
Yeah,
or ill
yeah,
or something?
It's just bad. It's negative. Mal.
Mal.
It is
We
in
have
Spanish too.
malady.
Maladies.
Malady in
Yes.
English.
Yes.
And then if you're not doing very well in Spanish, you would say muy mal.
Yeah.
I don't remember that part. I don't remember that one in Japanese.
Well, it does have some context in different languages, but we don't know them
Yeah.
all just yet.
The only bit of Japanese I remember is matikulosai, which means I don't understand.
Oh, see, that's useful.
Please repeat. Basically.
Aren't you glad we're going to a whole nother world with wizards? Aren't you glad they speak the same language? Because it would be really difficult. I mean, you would be able to. I assume that after a time you would be able to speak the language, but if you were going into a completely new place and there's a different language involved, and just imagine how many people do that all the time. I mean, we know you did. I mean, the language is still the same, but there are some words.
No.
Like- Enlighten us.
In Greece, in
Oh,
Athens,
wow.
where I lived.
I didn't know you lived in Greece.
Yes.
Oh.
And
South Africa has about 4 languages.
and of course in and in Finland and Sweden.
We're learning
So-
that Katie has lived everywhere.
No.
Wow. Well, good to have that insight. So yeah, you know how difficult it can be.
Yes. How it feels, yeah. So you have your trusty little book where you go, okay, what is the word for this?
Mhm.
And that's
of
how you
pointing.
start. That's how you start.
Lots of pointing to the dictionary. Yes, please.
Yep. What else have we got?
All right.
When Harry first meets Malfoy, he reminds him of Dudley. How are they alike and how are they different?
Spoiled.
Oh, definitely spoiled.
Spoiled.
Yes.
Only children,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Unless you count Harry, which the Dursleys
Well,
don't.
no,
so.
they didn't count him. Yeah.
Draco's an only child.
Draco is definitely an only child.
All the girls in that family only have one child, actually.
Do they?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they were done. One and done.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
All of that family has only one child. How are they different?
How are they different? Size, they're different. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got?
Well, we don't really know.
We haven't learned much
We
yet.
haven't learned, much yet about Draco. So.
Oh, but we will. We will. I promise.
Oh, we will. Yes, indeed.
Little bit snobbier, maybe Draco. Just
You
a
think he's
little bit
snobbier?
more blue blood, I guess, to back it up.
I would say he might be a bit more
He might-
entitled, where Dudley is just more
A bully.
a bully. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. That's, definitely.
And then let's see here.
Let's see what else we've got.
Did you like Diagon Alley's hidden entrance?
I did. Oh, there's a wand. I'll show you guys the wand. I like the hidden entrance. What is it? 3 up, 2 across?
Yeah,
Something
behind
like
a
that.
weird, behind a
the-
kind
the
of weird,
trash
dingy
can.
pub.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the
Behind the trash
American
can.
in the American version it says trash bin, and I'm learning that it varies from place to place, but like I didn't know what a bin was when I was a kid and reading it, so I just kind of skipped over it, and now I'm like, oh, okay. So maybe that's changing.
Does it say trash bin?
At
I'm so
some
used
point-
to.
I don't
I'm
know.
so used to translating automatically that
I remember
Yeah.
that at some point they describe Hagrid's hands as the size of
Oh,
trash
okay.
bin lids.
It's, yes. Yeah.
Tiny glasses of sherry. I've never spoken.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just
They
saw
use
something.
they use dustbins here.
Dustbin.
Yes,
Okay.
dustbin, yes.
So used to translating.
I just saw something from earlier when we find out how Hagrid got to the house on the rock. So I'm going back a little bit. Sorry, but I was interested to know what you guys thought. How did he fly there? He doesn't have a broom on him.
Uh-huh.
How did he fly there?
He could have a broom on him, to be fair. That's a very big coat.
It is a very big coat. But Harry's under it. Don't you think he would feel a broom? I'm going to assume he doesn't have one. That may not be headcanon for you.
I don't know. We don't see.
He doesn't
You're not supposed
really-
to be able to fly unaided.
You're not supposed to be able to fly unaided.
Mhm.
Well,
There's a few exceptions, but.
Well, I'll say my theory was maybe he rode a Thestral, and
Yes,
then
but
when
you're
he
not supposed to mention them yet.
well, that's what I was gonna say. Do you know what a Thestral is? For those of you who know the spoilers, think about it. Thestral, you can't see them, so you wouldn't know, and maybe it flew home after it dropped him off. For some of you who don't know, tell us what you think a Thestral is in the comments. All right, what else have we got here? Some blue ink splatter. And then, okay, so that's it for the book. Any more questions?
Um.
I'm gonna check and see if I'm getting any.
Prediction time. Do you think Harry will have any problems getting to Hogwarts on September 1st?
Yes.
Well-
because there are always issues.
First, he doesn't even know whether the Dursleys will take him to the train station.
True,
So
true.
how would he even get there? That's
Well, the one
You
plus to London is you can get. Well, I guess they live in Surrey, so but he could
He could
technically catch
take
the
the
train
train.
and get into King's Cross Station
yes.
and St. Pancras because they're right next to each other.
Mhm.
That's something in the movies. Whenever they show King's Cross, it's actually St. Pancras because the King's Cross station is very modern and
Yeah.
not super pretty.
I had
So
no
they
idea.
actually show the station that's literally
Yes.
next door
Right.
because they kind of grew up
They
next to each
kinda-
other
Yeah.
and they're
Yeah.
interconnected now.
Mm-hmm.
That's
There
really
are
cool.
several stations that have grown so big underground that
That
there are
they-
about 4 stations now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because it started in what 1860s, 70s?
Yeah.
Well over 100
something
years old
like-
now.
Yes. Oh yeah. It's like probably 150 years old almost.
Okay, and then Lorian had a question that I'm trying to get to, and of course the
Okay,
computer is
let's
being
see.
weird.
It says, oh, I'm not seeing Lorian's question. I wonder if she took it down.
It's somewhere else, I think.
Was it a comment on?
No, it was somewhere else, maybe.
Okay.
There it is. Why didn't a wizard just fix Dudley's tail? Yeah, it seems
Why
they
did
would have.
wizards?
Why didn't a wizard just fix Dudley's tail? It seemed they would have done it even if the Dursleys didn't like wizards, due to the involvement of Muggle surgeons, etc.
Well, no one knows about it because Harry didn't tell on Hagrid, right?
Mhm.
And Hagrid didn't tell anybody.
No. He's not going to tell anyone.
And maybe Petunia and Vernon
Oh,
made
nope.
sure.
They were like, nope, we're having nothing to do with any of that stuff.
And you would think that at, doctors' offices and whatnot, they would have someone planted to kind of, but you can't plant somebody at every doctor's office to see if that's a magical malady or not.
But how would you explain that away?
Born with it? I don't know. That is strange.
To be fair, we are born with tails occasionally, but they're
Yeah,
usually
Occasionally.
snipped off at birth.
Right, right.
But it's obviously a pig's tail, at least according to the picture.
It is. Picture in the movie.
It's like, it's obviously a pig's tail.
I don't know how they did that. I feel like maybe they just got really good at noticing when someone was a bit different from what they were used to, and they just completely noped out of every situation that had a little bit of that going on. I wonder how many doctors they had to go to. That's a lot.
Well, unless they had someone watching out from the sidelines on the Dursleys to see in case there was
Yeah.
anything.
How do you even
Maybe.
make that appointment?
You know what? I wonder if the final person who did remove the tail
Uh-huh.
just maybe stuck a couple of stitches just to kind of make them think that Dudley had surgery.
Mhm. There
Maybe.
you go, and just sort of.
Just did a little wand magic and
Mhm.
got rid of that tail. It's Dumbledore. Dumbledore is always the answer. So, is that all of our questions?
I don't think so. Either that or it's not updating, which could be plausible, to be fair.
Well, thank you all for joining us today. We did have a couple of questions that we said throughout. What was it? How do you think Hagrid flew in?
Right.
What was another one?
The other one was that what would be your witch or wizard name for yourself?
Right.
So.
I think that's it. So just let us know. Send us a message or comment on this post. Comment on this post, I think, will be the best way to do that. And then we will probably give you a little shout out in the next video. And we'll have our names by then. Or we'll at least try. We'll figure out what we can do. We might have to see if there's a wizard name generator.
That might be easier. I can technically use my name since it's like ancient Greek.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it goes back to ancient Greek.
Well, we'll have to see what that is next week. So if you want to know, come back next week.
And the next two chapters are
Are they 6 and 7?
6 and 7, which are the names I cannot remember.
One of them is
The
King.
Journey from Platform 9 3/4.
And then the sorting?
And then we get to the Sorting Hat.
Sorting hat.
There, okay.
Yes, the Sorting Hat.
Sorting hat.
Yes.
So how does a hat sort you?
We shall see.
Mm-hmm.
So read those 2 chapters, and when we come back next time, we'll dive deep and see what we find out, talk about them, and see what they look like.
All right. Well, have fun. Enjoy.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And look out for Katie's opening for chapter 6.